always remember.
But obviously there's a competitive spirit, and I don't make it. I think every player has a little bit of their head coach, and to some degree the coaches around them. And so most people know I don't suffer from low self-esteem. Like, we could be playing checkers and absolutely there's no mistake. I am trying to win. I don't know why that's the way God made me.
No. When we were,
I want to win.
When we were growing up, I've always remembered you saying somebody's got to be the best. Why shouldn't it be me?
That's right.
And you lived that.
And we lived that.
Yes.
And still live that. And I tell our kids that. Why put all of this work in? Why get up at 5 a.m., put this work in, and you're shooting for second? Or we're just, shooting we're happy to be here. We want to participate. Now we want to compete. We want to win, and that is, the way that our kids tend to, think, live, and breathe and play the game that way, because that translates right into life. You go for a job. We want you to be confident on your job. We want you to know what you're doing. We don't want you to guess what you're doing. We want you to know what you're doing and to be confident in that and walk in that. And I think that is the breath of fresh air that we try to breathe in these young ladies, is to be a confident woman, strong, smart, and confident in everything they do, and that just came from basketball. So I really feel like that we're teaching life through basketball. Basketball is just the means that brought us together.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And it's good to see that the young ladies and everything that you're teaching, as you mentioned, while they're learning it on a basketball court and they're equating it to a sport and athleticism, but they're actually walking that and learning how to be young women and successful, confident young women in life. Those are good lessons.
Raising boss ladies.
Because girls right. Now, one of the things that I hated about being dragged to your basketball games, supporting your games.
Sure.
I want to say my daughter played for you. Our niece played for you.
Yep.
And being dragged to those games after they were no longer on the team, we're like, why are we still going to these basketball games? Why is he still making us sit behind the concession stand? Why are we at the stadium doing all this stuff? But again, support of your programs and the passion that you have for your young ladies. Are the parents as supportive? Do you get a lot of support from your the parents on the teams?
Oh, yes, for sure. And honestly, one of the things that we talk about is not just, being on the team, or we're trying to look for good players, but we're looking for good families. If we find a good family, then we're hoping that we'll find a good player. You could be a really good player and you could be a terrible person. If you don't listen to your mom or dad, then that means you're not going to listen to me. I don't know how we're going to coach a kid like that. So those are the things really that we're looking for. Like New Hope Academy is a character-based education. Really, our basketball program is a character-based education. Whether you play a lot or whether you play a little, we want you to have a great experience. We want you to understand how important and valuable you are on this program. And that doesn't mean, everybody can't be the leading scorer. Everybody can't be the leading rebounder. But everybody is an MVP. And we really believe that, God brings us together for certain reasons. Sometimes we may find out those reasons later, but they're absolutely creating being in the Tiger Nation, the sisterhood they're creating with each other. You don't know where that's going to lead them to down the road, to be able to lift each other up. So, and really that's the only commitment that we ask back to our players, is that you come back and you help another young lady and give her some advice, and you encourage her that, hey, if I did it, you can do it too. That's a family commitment. And so most of the families are extremely supportive because of that character-based education and teaching that we preach all the time.
Have you ever had young ladies who had families that weren't as supportive, and I dare say ghettofied or not very happy, where you had to take a young lady out of the program?
Of course. That's any and every program. It's just like everybody doesn't have a Mercedes Benz. It's not for everybody. Sometimes you find those things out later. Reading that book, From Good to Great, Sometimes you have to change seats. And as a parent, I would also try to put my child in a place where I feel like they're getting better, where they feel good about themselves and stuff like that. And so sometimes it doesn't work for some kids. I mean, it's very small numbers, but sometimes it doesn't work, and that's okay. We hope that, they find a place that's good for them. The only thing that disappoints me is that when the child is happy and the parent is unhappy, that's when we have problems. Because I'm like, your child is happy, but you're unhappy. Then that means you're trying to do this for your kid.
Now, I recall being a bystander in the stands, and I won't say the school and I won't say the game.
Yep.
But I remember listening to a parent and friends behind us yelling at the coach. And of course, the coach was you. And so they're, saying all this, nasty words and all this verbiage. Coach this. And of course, we come in gang form. Caldwell's, we ride in gang form. So we got mom, sister, cousin, nieces, rest of the kids and all that. And, we turn around real slow, like, who is she? We all start like we're getting ready to get up. And I could see you from the corner of my eye, talking to the young lady and supporting her and telling her to go back in and play the game, even though the parents were back there screaming and, yelling and acting a fool. So it's really awesome that you still look at that as, I'm going to try to help this child. But I guess if it gets to a certain point to where, you're unable to make that successful transition where the parent recognizes that this is what's best for their kid and or that they need to listen to you.
We don't like to punish a kid because they have backseat crazy parents. I mean, it's not their fault. However, we have removed kids because of their parents, because, it's not a good representation of our brand, of our school, and the commitment that the other families, coaches, and players make to the program and our fans. If it's not of us, we don't want to be a part of that. And we talk about that too. I mean, there's a certain decorum, and a level of professionalism that you should have in the stands. But that's embarrassing. And that was embarrassing. And I remember that incident, and we did have to remove that family, from our program because, we don't want you yelling, screaming, cussing, and going crazy in the stands. I mean, there's a time and place for everything. If you want to have a conversation, we could certainly do that. But you don't want to, be so embarrassing to your child and embarrass the program and the other families that way either.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, before we wrap up, I just want to highlight some of the awesome things that you've done. That this is my brother, Sam Caldwell. That your first 2 years at New Hope Academy, first program to win a national championship in the second year of its existence, the first coach to win 3 national Geico national championships, and the first coach to win Geico and NACA national championships in 2 different schools. And all of your kids went to college, and we talked about earlier about some of the all-stars on your team. So what's next for Coach Caldwell, the number 1 coach in the nation?
Well, all of that sounds awesome. I can't do any of those things without having the greatest coaches around me. I think we have the best principal and administrators, and certainly it's been a big blessing to me and those families, to have an opportunity to coach their kid. So I'm not going to say that's all me, but I am the head coach, and so I'm just glad I get to play a part in doing something awesome out here in the community.
Can you tell our viewers where they can reach you if they have a daughter that's like 6'3", 6'5", she balling out of control, and she need to find a nice high school to go to? How can
Absolutely. New Hope Academy is www.nha.org, or just spell it on out, newhopeacademy.org. You can reach us from the website. My email address is scaldwell@newhopeacademy.org, and would love to hear from you. Please be on the lookout, on our Twitter and Facebook pages for our skills and drills clinics that we do, our coaching clinic that we'll be doing next month as well. So we're just going to continue to try to elevate and grow the game, and keep doing what we do, working in our passion.
Awesome. So I guess I'm going to applaud and thank you for coming out on this show. And to parents everywhere that have children or people that work with young girls, we want to thank you for everything that you've done for the community. Again, we're going to wrap up this segment of Shaynel's 3 Cents. I want to thank you for watching. Hopefully you will like and subscribe to our channel, Platinum Media Concepts on YouTube, and we'll look forward to talking to you on our next show.